Welcome to Spectator Sport, sponsored by SpectatorSporting.com. I'm Zach Roach.
I'm Adewale.
This is episode number 25. We call it the Barry Bonds edition. And no matter what's been said, I still think he's the greatest baseball player of all time. We got a big show for you today, but before we get into that, make sure you go on the Spectator Sport page on YouTube and subscribe to that page. Watch them shows, watch the previous clips. This will be up there very, very soon. But like I said, we got a big show, a lot of football today, basketball, and somebody special scored 50.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait to get into that. But but we also have an awards, and that's where we're gonna begin at. Awards. So we brought the midway point of the NFL season. We're starting to find out who is who and who is not. But through the first half of the season, there's been some standout guys. Offensive Rookie of the Year. There's been some good rookies. There's been some rookies that had high potential that have not been good. Right now, today, who's your Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, well, you would think that Saquon Barkley leads all rookies in rushing yards per game, but it's not him. It's Sony Michel. He's averaging 70 yards per game, okay? Also, the Lions' second-round pick, Kerryon Johnson, is tied for number 1 in the NFL in rushing yards per attempt with 6.1. And let's not forget about Calvin Ridley over there with the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah. He's tied for 3rd in the NFL with receiving touchdowns. He has 6. But what separates Saquon Barkley from the pack is his dual threat ability, okay? He leads all rookies in receiving yards, receptions, and rushing touchdowns. That's why Saquon Barkley gets my vote for mid-season offensive rookie of the year.
Those other rookies you named were great. I thought about Calvin Ridley, but he's missed the last couple games, I think, due to injury. And Sony Michel's hurt now. But Saquon Barkley, Saquon Barkley is definitely the rookie of the year so far. But it's hard because his team is terrible. But even on a team where he's the focus of everything, he still is averaging 4.7 yards per rush. 5 touchdown rushing and 2 touchdowns caught. And 58 receptions, 497 yards. I mean, he's doing it all. He's pretty much all they got. I mean, I know they got Odell Beckham, but Eli cannot get the ball down the field to him. So it's really been the Saquon Barkley show. And that's just what it is. So I got to go with Saquon Barkley. Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Defensive Rookie of the Year. You know, I was looking at the guy, Denzel Ward, cornerback for the Browns. He's out to prove to Cleveland that the Browns did not make a mistake by drafting him over the Denver Broncos edge rusher, Bradley Chubb. And he's doing a good job of it, okay? He has 3 interceptions this year. He's tied for 2nd in that category, okay? He also is tied for 3rd in the NFL in passes defended with 9. But I'm not picking him as my defensive rookie of the year. I'm going with the Colts' 2nd round outside linebacker, Darius Leonard, okay? He had a nice clutch play in Oakland for the Colts to seal the victory, okay, over the Raiders. Also, he has 3 forced fumbles this year. He's tied for number 2 in the NFL in that category. Also, he's averaging 12 tackles a game. He has 4 sacks. I'm going with Darius Leonard as my defensive rookie of the year.
That was a good pick. I looked at him as well too. But I got to go with Denzel Ward because he's kind of been put in a tough situation. Like I said, I was one of the guys. I admit I was one of the people that was like, number 4. Over Bradley Chubb. You could have had Myles Garrett and Bradley Chubb on both sides of the field coming after the quarterback. But Denzel Ward has shown he's a number 1 cornerback, and you can go out there and put him on the other team's best receiver, and he can hold his own. Like you said, 9 deflections, 3 interceptions, and also a forced fumble. So I got to go with Denzel Ward. He's exceeded expectations, and they seem like they got a gym over there in Cleveland right now. Let's talk about the grand scheme of things. Out of everybody, right now, who is the offensive player of the year?
Well, you know, Adam Thielen, he just broke the record of the former Houston Oiler, Charlie Hennigan, okay, for consecutive games to start the season with at least 100 yards receiving, okay? But I'm not going with Adam Thielen as my offensive player of the year. I'm going with Todd Gurley, okay? Even though Cooper Kupp and Brandon Cooks had little injuries, Todd Gurley still put up his numbers. He by far leads the NFL in total touchdowns with 15. Kareem Hunt is a distant second with 10 touchdowns, okay? And also Todd Gurley, he's averaging 100 yards rushing per per game. That's number one in the NFL. I'm going with Todd Gurley as my offensive player of the year.
Todd Gurley's been phenomenal this year. He's been absolutely phenomenal. Drew Brees has been phenomenal this year. It's been some players that have really stuck out this year. I mean, you can even make an argument for Jared Goff this year. Mm-hmm. He's been great. But I got to go with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he is on fire right now. I mean, he already in 7 games he has 26 touchdown passes, only 6 interceptions, and 115.5 QB rating. Nice. He has absolutely been phenomenal. Listen, as much as those guys have been great. All those other guys that you named, they've been great. And Adam Thielen, what a story! What a story! Where did this guy come from? But
Minnesota. He's from Minnesota.
Yeah, he's from Minnesota. 8 straight games. How many? 7?
100 yards. Yeah. He's tied with Megatron right now. He's going to try to break his record. Yeah. So he can do it against the Lions.
And he catches everything. So I do like him. I really like him. And Drew Brees, I mean, he's been phenomenal. No interceptions this year. I think he threw one. He threw one in just past week. Mm-hmm. But that was his first interception. And Jared Goff and leading the best offensive.
Tom Brady's out there too.
Tom Brady, but Patrick Mahomes is lighting it up. There's no disputing. Kansas City is fun to watch, and he's out there making play after play after play. So 26 touchdowns. Already.
Yeah, backing it up.
Already. I mean, he's on pace for 52 touchdowns.
Might break the record.
That it's possible. So I got to go with Pat Mahomes. Defensive player of the year.
Yeah, that's a good question, man. I was looking through it. I was looking through all the defensive players. I saw a guy, Danielle Hunter, with the Vikings. He's tied for second in the NFL in sacks. He has 8. He also is tied for third in the NFL with tackles for loss. He has 10. But I had to go with Aaron Donald, okay? Aaron Donald, he came up big against the Green Bay Packers. He had a couple of sacks to help him get that victory. Yep. He already has double-digit sacks halfway through the season. He has 10. He has 12 tackles for loss this year. He leads the league in both categories. I'm going with Aaron Donald with the Defensive Player of the Year.
Well, if you would have asked me 3 games ago, I would have said Khalil Mack. When, of course, Khalil Mack had an ankle injury that's held him back. I got to go with Aaron Donald, too. The Rams' defense is probably the weakness of their team, low-key. They give up a lot of yards and a lot of points. Mm-hmm. It's just their offense is so good. But whenever something needs to happen, when they need a big stop, Aaron Donald comes and always makes a big play for the Rams. And we saw that in that Green Bay game. He, out of nowhere, was when somebody's making a run, he just shuts it down. All right, this is enough. I've had it. So he is the guy on that team. And like you say, 10 sacks already. 10 sacks.
Double digits.
Yes, at defensive tackle. 10 sacks. So that's incredible right there. And he's so quick. He's so explosive. In all those tackles for losses, I got to go with Aaron Donald. The granddaddy of them all. The big one of them all through the first 8 weeks of the season at the halfway mark. Who is the NFL MVP right now?
Well, low-key, Phillip Rivers has a 117 quarterback rating, okay?
There you go.
You don't hear about him a lot. I considered him. And you already talked about Patrick Mahomes. He's out there killing. But there's another guy who had back-to-back wins against 2 of the top defenses in the league on the road in Baltimore. And in Minnesota, Drew Brees.
Ooh,
okay, Drew Brees, the guy leads the league in completion percentage.
Yep.
He has a 118 quarterback rating. And he's only threw 1 interception. The Saints are on the roll. Okay, they're probably the best team in the NFC right now. Should be the favorite to go to make it to the Super Bowl.
Ooh, the favorite? All right, go.
Yeah, I think there's New Orleans Saints and Drew Brees MVP.
Well, look, I'm not mad at that because that Drew Brees, he crossed my mind too. But I got to go with Mahomes in this situation. We're just talking about through the first half of the season, Mahomes has been the most impactful player. Like, you got to look at it like this. Now, the counter argument to me would probably be, well, Alex Smith was 5-0 and, they were the same offense. He's taken that offense of Andy Reid and double what Alex Smith did last year. I mean, Alex Smith had 26 total touchdowns all year last year. All year. And, for him to have that in the half the season, he got 26 touchdowns in half the season. Mm-hmm. And, and it's 7-1. They lead the AFC West. They look like they're on their way trying to get home field advantage. They got the 1 loss to the Patriots, but I gotta go Pat Mahomes right now. He's made the biggest difference right now. We know Drew Brees. We know what Drew Brees does.
Yeah.
He's got time. Don't get me wrong. Mahomes got a lot of talent around him. Too. Let's not get it twisted.
Yeah, both of them have a lot of weapons.
Yeah, they have a lot of weapons. So, but what he's done to take, because that was a hard position he was put in. Like, he was under pressure. He was under pressure because Alex Smith had that play good and led them to the playoffs the last couple seasons. And for him to just step in and just take off the way he has, not much respect.
He's been flawless. I just look at those victories by Brees on the road against two top defenses, the Vikings and the Ravens, and that kind of gave him the edge for me over Mahomes.
And like to your point, the Saints are 4-0 on the road, and that's usually where they struggle. From the dome, that's a whole different story.
Right.
But on the road, that's where they usually have issues. And therefore, don't forget a win in Atlanta, which was a tough win too. So look, Drew Brees is phenomenal this year, but I gotta go Pat Mahomes, no question. You're watching Spectator Sporting on SpectatorSporting.com. When we come back, the Bears play the Bills. We'll talk about it. Welcome back to Spectator Sporting, sponsored by SpectatorSporting.com. I'm Zach Roach.
I'm Adi Wale.
Man, we got a big show for you today. This is episode number 25. We call it the Barry Bonds edition. What was he, like a 8-time MVP? I mean, he's the best baseball player I've ever seen for a long stretch. I don't care what none of y'all say. Well, we got a big show for you today. We talking a lot of football. We got some NBA. Somebody scored 50. We'll get more into that. I can't wait to get into that. We just gave out our awards. Now we got let's review the Bears versus Jets. So the Bears got a much needed victory after a 2-game losing streak. They went from first to last and then back to first place in a span of 3 weeks. I mean, so they got. I mean, it was a perfect storm for them. They did what they were supposed to do. It wasn't pretty, but they beat the Jets. The Packers lost. The Lions lost. And the Vikings lost. Everybody lost, and they won. So they did exactly what we talked about last week happened, and that was great. Now, there was a couple things that stood out in the game. First half, once again, you text me in the game. I was like, I'm just gonna not respond to you. You tell me talking about how Mitch is an inaccurate quarterback, and he did look like that in the first half. But the second half, once again, he always plays better in the second half. Now we got to find a way to translate that to 4 quarters. The defense, as you expect, they played a lot better. They still didn't get the pressure on the quarterback I wanted them to get, but they did enough. They shut down the short-handed Jets for the most part, most of the game. A couple bonehead plays they did on defense, but other than that, they did what they supposed to do, and they came out there with a victory. What was your thoughts on the game?
Well, like you said, the Bears' defense was dominating this game until the fourth quarter, when the Bears had a 17-3 lead, and then the refs decided to get softer than the other side of the pillow and call an unnecessary roughness penalty on Eddie Jackson. It was a bang-bang play. I think they could have let that slide, but Roger Goodell, I guess he had a meeting with the refs before the season and say, hey guys, let's get softer than soft, So that led to a touchdown by the Jets rookie tight end Chris Herndon. Now the game is in doubt. It's 17-10, but the Bears offense responded. Jordan Howard had his best run of the year, longest run of the year, 24-yard run. Then he punched it in for a 2-yard touchdown with 7 minutes to go. The Bears are 24-10. The Jets never could respond, never could recover from that. And the game ball has to go to a defensive player. I'm giving it to Bryce Callahan. He had 3 deflected passes, He also had a sack. That guy has been consistently good.
Yes, absolutely. Bryce Callahan has been an underrated player for the Bears. He is having a good year. But yeah, like I said, I just felt like overall, these are the toughest games. Believe it or not, these are the toughest games to get up for. You playing a team like the Jets, Sam Darnold at quarterback with no really outside weapons, people hurt or people just not there or they're just not good enough. And you sometimes people tend to play down to the level of their competition, but the Bears found the way and they got the victory, and and they needed this victory to get some confidence back, get some swagger back after having that 2-game losing streak. Absolutely. So before we go further, I just wanted to now go ahead, give me your thoughts on Mitch in this game.
Well, yeah, Mitchell Trubisky, like you said, in the first half it was a struggle. They only scored 1 touchdown, but that was a great touchdown. Chicken salad, Tariq Cohen.
That was a great play call.
Yeah, great play call. Called the Jets in the the blitz. They blitzed everyone, the front seven. Mitch tossed it over the heads of those guys, and there was nothing but green grass and ahead of Tariq Cohen, and you can't catch the guy. You give that guy too much space. He's very fast, very short, very little, but extremely fast, okay? But other than that, Mr. Trubisky, he was inaccurate on a couple of third down passes. He missed Jordan Howard in the flats. Also, he missed Anthony Miller on a post corner route. Okay, he needs to work on that post corner route. He needs to practice that late after practice or something. Get that route down pat. Okay, he only hit 38% of his completions. He only had 38% completion percentage in the first half. But in the second half, he bumped it all the way up to 68%, okay? He had a nice back shoulder touchdown pass to the rookie Anthony Miller.
He's starting to show up.
Yeah.
He's starting to show up.
I see why the Bears traded up in the second round to get that guy. He's fast. He gets open. If Mitch can keep hitting this guy, I'm telling you, he'd probably be better than Calvin Ridley right now.
Wow.
If Mitch was just start hitting him when he gets open, okay? Now, also, Mitch's dual threat ability is pretty nice. He had 51 rushing yards, okay? So that was pretty good to see. But the only thing I just want Mitch to do, whatever it takes to get that accuracy up, and then the Bears would be extremely hard to beat.
I agree with that. That's the biggest, because to me, now look, he is a young quarterback, and most young quarterbacks struggle with accuracy. Not accuracy as far as like, they struggle a little bit because the game is faster. Point blank. You know, that's just what it is. Your read of a slant pass, how you normally throw it in college, is much different how fast you got to get rid of it in NFL. It's just much faster. So but he's got everything else. Like everything else I see from him, I see the leadership quality stepping up in the big time.
And he makes a good read. He makes the right read.
Yeah.
He just got to hit the guy.
Yeah. And like he's reading the defense. He's commanding the offense. It's his offense. You can see like they look up, they follow him. So it ain't the fact he's inaccurate. He has times where he's very accurate, and it seems to be in the second half. We just need him to start that way. He's had some great second halves this year where he looks like, okay, wow, that's the guy we drafted.
Yeah, against the Miami Dolphins, he had a bad first half.
I mean, even against the Patriots, he played much better in the second half than he did in the first half. I mean, every game. I mean, not the Packers game, maybe not early in the season, but as of late, he's played really good in the second half. And just like the Jets, he played good in the second half. So hopefully we can just get that throughout the game and hit those open passes, because like I agree with you, the Bears will score some points. And let's not forget, no Allen Robinson in this game either. No Allen Robinson.
Kyle Long got hurt too.
That's a big one right there.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Because he's actually been playing really good. I mean, one thing that's been that offensive line has been really good this year. Kyle Long has been balling, and it's been good to see. So hopefully he's not out too long.
Yeah, he's out. They say he's out 6 to 8 weeks. And Nagy says maybe week to week. But they have Eric Kush, who was a starter, and then you got the rookie
James Daniels.
Yep. So they should be able to hold it down.
Well, hopefully. Hopefully. So let's talk about it. Now you play the Jets to Buffalo. I mean, the whole I think we just played the AFC 4 games in a row. The whole
3 games in a row. The AFC
the East, right?
East, yeah. 3 games in a row.
We played
Patriots, Jets, Bills.
We played Miami first. It was Miami.
4 games? Wow, okay.
Yeah, Miami, Patriots, Jets, and Bills.
Okay.
So now it's the Bills. The Bills this one scares me a little bit. Now, I would think the Bears should win, but every time like a team, like the Buffalo always comes out with a crazy win. I mean, I think about how they beat Minnesota early this year.
27-0.
And then they beat Tennessee.
13-12.
Yeah, like you just don't know. So if you go there and take Buffalo lightly, because their defense is not bad.
No, it's not.
Their defense is not bad. If you go there and take them lightly,
they beat they lost to the Houston Texans 20-13 on a pick 6 by Nathan Peterman.
Yeah,
they've been in some games.
And even in that Monday night game against the Patriots, it was only 12-6 going into the fourth quarter, and then everything.
Bills just couldn't do anything.
Yeah, they couldn't do nothing offensively, but they were there. Their defense held Brady to 12 points going into the fourth quarter.
Right.
So their defense is legit. So the Bears they're being prepared offense, because they're gonna come after you. So, but the Bears have to go into that mindset, and they have to be ready to go, because if they don't, this is a game they can lose.
Yeah. I don't know what the Bills Mafia did to deserve to have quarterback options of Nathan Peterman and Derrick Alexander. Derrick Alexander, he's in concussion protocol. He probably won't play. probably gonna get Nathan Peterman, probably the worst quarterback. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say he's the worst starting quarterback in the NFL.
It was a rumor, I don't know how true it is, that the Bills said, if you start this guy again, we're not playing. He told the coach Sean Gay, like, if you start Nathan Peterman, I know they ain't got no choice now because he's the only one left.
Right.
But if you start this guy over, if you don't start this guy, we're not gonna play.
Yeah.
That was a rumor. I don't know how true that is.
Well, hopefully he starts and they can just be all, and they don't play and we can get the win, right? So,
yeah.
I mean, but you know, the Buffalo Bills, now you gotta look out. You was talking about the defense. Lorenzo Alexander against the Patriots, he had 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, and 2 quarterback hits. Look out for number 57. Block that guy. He's going to be all over the place, okay? So, the Bills' game plan on defense is simple. Make Mitch Trubisky beat you with his arm, not his legs, okay? And, like, this defense here, it's on them to win. They're going to, Shady McCoy, they're going to run the ball with him, punt the ball, run, punt, and just try to hope for Mitch to do something, a turnover, a fumble, a blunder, things like that, miss a field goal, and, you know, maybe the refs will help you out or something. They just going to need some goofy, silly stuff to happen, but try to force Mitch to beat you with his arm.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna try to do, and that's all they got. I mean, because they offensively, because I look at that quarterback situation. This all started. Let me tell you when this started. Buffalo made the playoffs last year. This all started when they benched Tyrod Taylor pretty much for no reason, because the coach wanted to see this guy,
Nathan Peterman,
play, and then he came in through 5 interceptions, and it was just like, really, like, you know. And they brought Tyrod Taylor back in the game. He ended up getting them into the playoffs. But it was just that started. I mean, don't get me wrong. They haven't had a good. I mean, Tyrod Taylor was solid. He wasn't like no Pro Bowl or nothing. But he was solid. He was somebody that you can throw in the game and you can have expect some good results. Like, he was decent enough to win you some games.
Right.
But that's when it all started, because you started playing with the quarterback position, and then now you realize how valuable Tyrod Taylor was for you. Now you realize. Now I know they drafted number 1 pick. What's his name?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. He's hurt right now.
Hurt.
So I get that, but you got to be careful when you just. You got to realize what you got sometimes. Sometimes you got a good situation, and it can get a lot worse. And damn it, it's been a lot worse.
It's been horrible. It's been horrible.
So with that being said, the Bears are favored by 8.5 points in this game. What's your thoughts? Who's going to win?
Okay, well, you know, the Bears have been pretty bad on the road this year. They only have 1 road victory this year, and that was against arguably the worst team in the NFL, Arizona Cardinals. They only won that game by 2 points, okay? We mentioned Kyle Long. He's not going to play. And I see you, Cody Parkey. I see you missing those chip shot field goals. You missed a 40-yard field goal last week. You're making me feel uncomfortable. But I'm going to go ahead and pick the Bears to win this game. I got them winning this game 19-13. I gave them, how many confidence points? 9 confidence points, but I don't have the Bears covering the spread. I have the Bills. They're getting 8.5 points. I don't think the Bears are going to cover the spread. It's going to be a defensive battle. It's going to be low scoring, but I got the Bears winning, but not covering the spread.
I got the Bears winning as well too, and I also gave them 9 points, but I got them covering the spread. I got them winning 20-7.
Okay.
I feel like, I think the offense is kind of gonna struggle against Buffalo, because I think Buffalo has a strong defense and they're gonna get after Mitch a little bit. But I think it's gonna be on the other side where we get a pick. It's gonna be some turnovers. It's gonna be a pick 6 here and there, some fumbles. It's gonna,
we're gonna need that.
Yeah, if you listen, if you're a fantasy owner and you got the Bears defense, this might be a good week for you, because I think they're gonna get some turnovers. I think there's gonna be some miscues by Buffalo, and I think that's what the Bears. I think the Bears will score a defensive touchdown in this game, and I think that defense will hold down Buffalo. I think they're gonna be ready to go. So we'll see. 20-7. Any thoughts?
Khalil Mack probably not gonna play, right?
That's what they say. They say he's gonna practice Friday. He's going to be limited. Same with Allen. Him and Allen Robinson are both on the same schedule.
Okay.
You know, hopefully, I say sit him out, because this is why. Let me get into this before we move on.
Okay.
This is a very important game, because the Bears beat Buffalo. We go to 5-3. But guess what's after Buffalo? Detroit, Minnesota, Detroit.
Okay. Yeah, division. You got it.
Yeah.
So make sure Khalil Mack, make sure you 5-3.
Yeah.
And Khalil Mack is
healthy,
so
ready
he
to
can
go.
sack Matt Stafford and Kirk
because
Cousins.
it's gonna get real. That's when it's gonna get.
We want to
really
help you Mack against those guys.
Yeah. So like, if Mack is not 100% or he'll never be 100%. But at least he need to be at least 90% before we beat.
I want to see Matthew Stafford getting sacked, but first we got to beat Buffalo.
We got to beat Buffalo,
Yeah.
but this is why this victory is so important.
Very important.
That's why the Bears better be ready to go, because now it's division play. It's about to get real, and then your next 3 games after Buffalo, You got Detroit. You got Minnesota. Then on Thanksgiving at Detroit, you gonna play at Detroit. So it is about to get real. So they really need to be ready to go against Buffalo. Take care of business.
No doubt.
You've been watching Spectator Sporting on SpectatorSporting.com. When we come back, NBA basketball. A lot of big time stories. We'll tell you more when we get. Welcome back to Spectator Sports, sponsored by SpectatorSporting.com. I'm Zach Roach.
I'm Adewale.
Man, we got a big show for you today. We talking a lot of football, but before we go any further, make sure you go on SpectatorSporting.com. My man Adi has wrote some dope articles on there. Go ahead and check it out. Also, hit that YouTube page and subscribe to Spectator Sport. Previous shows, previous clips, some dope interviews we done had before, and there's gonna be much, much more to come. So go ahead and subscribe to that page. This is episode number 25. This is the Barry Bonds edition. One of the greatest baseball players to ever play. Shout out to Barry Bonds. We've been talking football. Now let's talk a little b-ball, a little basketball. Derrick Rose. Wow. I don't think nobody saw this coming. So I'm up late last night and I'm looking at the score and it flashed by the screen. It's the third quarter and Rose has 35. I said, what? In the third quarter, so I turned to the game, I'm watching, and man, this was a magical moment. I mean, this is a fairy tale. I mean, and if one person deserved it, I mean, he's been the butt of so many jokes. I mean, he was pretty much thrown away. The Bulls they say we can't deal with you no more. Even a lot of Chicago fans, they won't admit it. They're gonna say we always been with Rose. You a damn lie. Okay, no, you have not been. Okay, a lot of people turned on him. Let's just keep it real. He went to the Knicks. You know that he had a good year with the Knicks, but they didn't want him back. Then he went to Cleveland, trying to play with LeBron. He got hurt. You know, he had a couple episodes where he walked away from the team, or didn't. You know, I don't know. It was mentally going on with him. He had a couple episodes, but then. What made me see, like, this man has money. He has made a lot of money. And the fact that he didn't have a team after he got traded to Utah, and Utah said, no, we don't even want to look at you. Waived him. He was in a Cleveland State gym shooting basketball by himself. Wow. To show that he still wanted to play this game. Right. And he finally got an opportunity by his former coach, Tom Thibodeau. The Minnesota signed him. And after that, this is what led up to it. I thought last year against the Houston Rockets, he was one of their better players in the playoff series last year. Yeah. And he's carried that over to this year. And to finally see it all come to I watched it, it looked like old Derrick Rose. I mean, just going to the hole, following picks, going to the hole. I mean, Rudy Gobert, one of the best defenses, he was just going right at him. And it was fun to watch and it was fun to see. No doubt. I mean, and with all the negativity that was going on in Minnesota, they've been getting a lot of bad press with Jimmy Butler, who's supposed to be the leader of the team. And, Derrick Rose said, hey, no Jimmy Butler, no problem. He went in there, he did his thing, vintage Rose, okay? And I believe if Jimmy Butler comes back, he said he was resting or whatever. If Jimmy Butler comes back, I think they need to go ahead and put Jeff Teague on the bench. That's my opinion. Put him on the bench, start Derrick Rose, man. They need a leader. Jimmy Butler is not the leader. He puts people down. Maybe he's trying to make the players tough on the team. I don't know what he's trying to do. That's not a good way to lead, okay? Derrick Rose, he's a quiet guy, but I love this type of leader. He's the kind of guy that like, hey, look, I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to be in your ear. Look at me. I'm going to show you how you need to play, okay? He's not going to put up 50, all the time, but he's always going to give you that maximum effort, and he's going to show you how to be a champion, how to play like an MVP, and that's great for Wiggins and Karl-Anthony Towns. And they respond to him. I mean, what you just said, if you would have, the end of the game, the way they reacted to him when he did that, it was like genuine love they got for that brother right there. It was the way Karl-Anthony Towns living legend, like Wiggins, everybody shot him out. Like, and don't get me wrong, Jimmy Butler, when he's played this year, he's balled out. Let's just call it what it is. He has balled out. But even in that game when he shut down the Lakers, to put it away, they was happy, but it wasn't like when they went crazy. The whole crowd stayed to watch the Derrick Rose interview after the game. So that just shows you the magnitude of this dude. He still has star power. Now, I'm not saying he's a star player. I'm not going to go as far to say he should be in the starting lineup. because he said his goal is to win the 6th Man of the Year this year.
Okay.
But you might be on to something. But for right now, that he's being the leader of that team. Like he's in their it seems like they do follow him. Now the Jimmy Butler situation. Listen, he just got to make a decision right now. Look, I understand he wants to be traded, and it didn't go as planned. But at the end of the day, you're under contract. And whether you like it or not, you signed that contract with the Bulls. You signed that contract with the Bulls, and then if you feel like Karl-Anthony Towns and Wiggins don't deserve the money they get, that's fine. But they're younger, and they're the future of the Timberwolves. You're 30 years old. So hopefully, but he is their best player. I'm going to be real. Right now, he is their best player. Hopefully he just, because Minnesota, they all can put it together. They can be a good team.
Yeah. Jimmy Butler is the best player. He fills up the stat sheet, but he's not a leader.
Yeah, that's it. But because I don't know a situation. It's from a basketball point of view. Now, if you want to talk business, he wants that super max deal. Okay, fine. I get that. I'm not gonna say nothing about somebody trying to get their money. Right. I'm not. You get all the money you can. But if we talking about strictly on the basketball court, I don't know where you're gonna get traded. This team improving. Now, Karl-Anthony Towns and Jimmy Butler can figure it out because Karl-Anthony Towns has not played good when Jimmy Butler has played. And I don't know if it's friction between them. If that off the court stuff has carried on the court with them, something ain't right with them too.
Yeah,
but Karl-Anthony Towns, when he's playing like we saw last night, Karl-Anthony Towns had 28 and 16 last night.
Wow. He's good, man.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler and Karl and Wiggins, they need to work it out because they was solid at the end of the year last year. But Jimmy got hurt, so.
But shout out to Derrick Rose, man. Hopefully he can keep playing good. If he can stay healthy, because he looks healthy. Like as he said, this is the first time in 7 summers where he didn't have to rehab over the summer.
Right.
You think about that. 7 summers.
And he's only 30 years old. He just turned 30 last month.
And people make fun of him like, well, we don't know how he's going to. Listen, man, if you, whatever profession you decide to do, just say like for us, we like to talk, we like to do podcasts. Imagine if our voice was hindered and we couldn't get on here and talk. That would be frustrating as hell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand, like, this man was on top of the basketball world and injuries to like take it away from him. Of course, he might have did some things that was not, you wouldn't think it's smart, but we haven't been in that position before. When you on top of everything and it just be snatched away from you.
Right.
So for him to keep fighting and keep battling and come back and show the world what it was like for all the young people that may not have seen the young Derrick Rose, that's what it looked like.
Right.
That's what it looked. Yeah, 50 points, absolutely. Another NBA story. LeBron left. Kyrie's gone. Now Ty Lue has been fired. Another coach been fired by the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, David Black went through this fate. Now Ty Lue, they started 0-5, 0-6.
0-6, yeah.
0-6, and now they fired him. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think they did him kind of bogus because when LeBron James, in the offseason we was talking about this, when LeBron signed with the Lakers, we both thought they was going to blow it up, okay? I thought they was going to go ahead and trade Kevin Love, things like that, but then the general manager was going out saying, no, we're not trading him. But if you look at it, the first time LeBron left Cleveland, they tanked and they ended up with Kyrie Irving. They ended up with Andrew Wiggins, who they turned into Kevin Love, okay? It worked out great for them. Also, with the Pat Riley, if you look at the Miami Heat, they didn't try to tank after LeBron left. They tried to keep winning, and then it became mediocre. Now they stuck in purgatory, okay? They need to go ahead and trade Kevin Love. Trade him to the Blazers. I think the Blazers can use him. Also, the Washington Wizards, they got off to a pretty bad start. They thought Dwight Howard was going to do something for them. I don't think so.
Who called that?
Yeah, you did.
I'm sorry, it's early though.
Yeah. I think they need to make a trade. Forget the Dwight Howard project. Try to trade for Kevin Love. The Cleveland Cavaliers need to go ahead and get a first-round pick.
Absolutely. Cleveland's in rebuild mode. Let's just call it what it is. They're rebuilding. They probably, Kevin Love, the contract is trade-friendly they gave Kevin Love. They need to go ahead and try to offload that and get some first-round picks. I agree with you because they're not trying to win. Right. Let's just call it what it is. They're not trying to win. I thought they could be a playoff team this year, but obviously they have other plans. And and you got an owner who don't want to pay nobody. Really, I mean, I get it. He paid the luxury tax the last 4 seasons with LeBron big time, so maybe he wants to save money this year. Yeah. Whatever it is, whatever the case may be, just go ahead. It's over. It's over in Cleveland. Okay, go ahead and trade Kevin Love. Definitely. But Ty Lue, I think they did him a favor. They did him a favor because now all these losses that Cleveland got is not going to be on his record.
Right. Yeah, they about to be in the lottery.
And I think Lou will get a job. I think they will be calling. There'll be a team next year that'll go after Tyronn Lue because he showed himself that he can coach and he can handle personalities.
No doubt.
I mean, he handled LeBron. I mean,
LeBron was getting on his nerves.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, absolutely. The Bulls. Bulls 2-7, 2-6, 2-7.
They were about 2-6, 2-7.
Yeah, 2-7. What's your thoughts on the Bulls right now?
Well, Zach LaVine, he scores a lot of points, but one thing that disturbs me about Zach LaVine that he needs to work on is that he has more turnovers than assists.
Yep.
He's averaging 3 assists a game, but he's averaging 4 turnovers a game. And then, maybe that's why he guns so much. Maybe he just don't know how to pass. I don't know. And so then you look at I'm thinking the Bulls need to hire a box-out coach for real, okay? Prime example, the end of the overtime against the Nuggets, the Bulls up 1 point, no joke, Jokic, he shoots the ball at the end of the game, and then Paul Millsap pushes Holiday out the way like he was a giant toothpick, just nudges him out the way for the game-winning tip-in. Please, somebody teach me. Somebody, you should know how to box out by now, okay? Box the man out, win the game. But the bright spot is Wendell Carter Jr. Against Nikola Jokic. He did have 25 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks.
That was good.
He's coming up, so that's pretty good. They play the Rockets Saturday night.
Who are struggling right now. They are much struggling. That's why they're desperately trying to make the trade for Jimmy Butler because they realize that Trevor Ariza and them losing Trevor Ariza. Say his name for me, Lou about.
I'm not gonna say
Okay, Mute. I'm sorry about messing that. I apologize. I really do. But those guys, those were big losses. Because Trevor Ariza was a guy who could hit the open 3 and he can guard your best player.
No doubt.
But I'm gonna go back to the Bulls, and I'm being serious right here. I'm being very serious right here. I think it's time to let Hoiberg go. Look. There's nothing big. Look, don't get me wrong. They have some talented players. I mean, not talented. They don't have the best roster. And I know they got some injuries. Chris Dunn is hurt and Lauren Markin is hurt. So you get the benefit of the doubt for that. But I just look at the game plan going into every game. What defensive principles are they bringing to the game? Now, I understand they don't have defensive players, so I'm not expecting them to be the top defense in the league. But it's no strategy. You playing against, okay, are we going to force some baseline? Are we going to trap the pick? There's nothing. They're just out there freewheeling trying to outscore teams. And that's just not going to happen. Zach LaVine is playing good. He is scoring the basketball. And he probably has a lot of turnovers because he has the ball all the time. I mean, just what it is. They don't really have no other ball handlers right now. I mean, Cameron Payne actually better at the 2 guard than he is the
point guard.
Yeah, the point guard. He's a better spot up shooter. He's really not a point guard. We starting to find out. So I feel like, but I think it's I just don't like the way they approach the game. And I think that has a lot to do with the coach. Like, a lot of times teams take on the personality of their coach. Now, I'm not saying the coach, you got to have the roster. There's no question about it. You got to have a good roster. But the personality, like the Brooklyn Nets are not is per se like a great team, but they fight every game. They are out there fighting. They're trying on defense. I mean, but when look, Golden State is probably maybe the greatest, if one of the best, if not the best team of all time. But with that being said, damn it, you are NBA players. You do not let a team come in your house at the United Center and score 92 points on you in the 1 half.
Right.
That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. And that is all on coaching. Don't forget, they gave up 135 points to the Charlotte Hornets. So it's something's wrong there.
As far as the fire Hoiberg thing, I feel you on that, but I'm not going to say that yet. I'm going to give him some time because Chris Dunn is out. He won't be back till after Thanksgiving. Laurie Marketing is out. And their 6th man, Bobby Portis, is out. So I say wait until like around All-Star break. If when those guys return, and if this stuff continues, like giving up 130 points, 140 points, things like that, and if that's still happening after those guys return, yeah, go ahead and fire them.
Okay, I'm with you on that. All right, you watching Spectator Sporting on SpectatorSporting.com. We come back, the NFL trade deadline. We'll talk more about it when we get back. Welcome back to Spectator Sport, sponsored by SpectatorSport.com. I'm Zach Roach.
I'm Adewale.
This is episode number 25. We call it the Barry Bonds edition. One of the greatest baseball players, if not the greatest baseball player to ever play. Make sure you go on SpectatorSport.com and subscribe to that YouTube page, Spectator Sport. Okay, we got previous shows, dope interviews. We're talking about a lot. We're going to be talking about more. This will be up there soon. So go check it out. Subscribe to that YouTube page. Spectator Sport, really dope page. We've been talking a lot of football, and now the NFL trade deadline has passed, and there was some trades that caught me off guard. One trade, it was a rumor they were saying this. I didn't think it was going to go through. I didn't think Detroit was serious about this. But they traded Golden Tate to the Eagles for a third rounder. What's your thoughts on that one?
Because, in the NFC North, only one game separates the first place team and the last place team. So, that's what threw me off about this Golden Tate trade. He's so electric. He's a very highly productive wide receiver. Okay, so now Marvin Jones, he has to be the number one wide receiver. He's a decent number one wide receiver.
He's a good receiver.
He was the number one wide receiver when Golden Tate was there. But now he has to deal with double teams now, okay? And you got Kenny Galladay, the second-year wide receiver from Northern Illinois. He has to step up into that number 2 wide receiver role. We'll see how he handles that. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles, in the offseason, they lost their speedy wide receiver, Torrey Smith, to the Carolina Panthers. They tried to replace him with Mike Wallace, but he fractured his fibula a few weeks ago. He's recovering. So now they have Alshon Jeffrey, Zach Ertz, and Golden Tate is joining the force. Don't forget about Nelson Aguilar. He can make some explosive plays. They're going to have a lot of weapons out there for Carson Wentz. And the Lions, now they have 2 third-round picks to play around with in the 2019 draft, but I think the Lions should have kept them. Look like they waving a white flag or something.
I don't know if they're waving the white flag. Maybe they just believe in the boy. Maybe they believe in him. Maybe they just really believe in him, and they feel like maybe something in practice that he's shown that he can handle it. We'll see. We're gonna see. They do got Marvin Jones, and then they got a third round and back. But this really makes the Eagles much better. I'm watching Eagles games. It seems like, I know they got Zach Ertz and Aguilar, but it seems like he's been forcing the ball to Alshon Jeffrey since he's came back. And it seems like that's the only guy he really trusts is Alshon Jeffrey. So Golden Tate is a reliable receiver. He's great in the slot. You can put him in the slot. You can put him on the outside. He's shifty. He can make people miss, and he's a home run. So that was a great move for the Eagles. To try to restore it, because they are luckily they're in the NFC East right now, where everybody's up and down, and they can take off. Even though the Redskins, surprisingly, but the Redskins are in first place right now. But the Eagles can make a run, and that was a good pickup. Jacksonville, has Blake Bortles just transferred to the whole team, to the organization? They're like, you know what? This ain't gonna work. We finna trade Dante Fowler, one of the best defensive players, to the Rams, but they did get a third round in the 2019 draft, and they got a 5th in the 2020. What's your thoughts on that?
Dante Fowler. See, the Rams, they have been padding their stats on some pretty bad teams. That defense has been padding their stats against the Arizona Cardinals, the Oakland Raiders, San Francisco 49ers. But when they play the big boys like Kirk Cousins and Russell Wilson, they scored 31. They allowed 31 points, okay? And the Green Bay Packers would have scored more than 30 points on them if Montgomery, if he didn't fumble that ball on that kick return, and they lucked up and won that game, but Aaron Rodgers was going to come down and score them points on that defense. Now, the Rams, they could not address their edge rusher void in the offseason. They didn't have a first or second round pick in the 2018 draft. Now they got this guy Dante Fowler. Hopefully he can bring some pressure, bring the heat. Now the Jaguars, they decided not to pick Dante Fowler's 5th-year option. They decided not to do that. They say they feel comfortable with Yannick Ngakoue and Calais Campbell. Those guys combined, they're going to get you about 20 sacks a year. So they feel like the pressure is going to continue to come. Maybe the Jaguars are collecting these draft picks so they can trade up and draft Blake Bortles' replacement in the 2019 draft. That's
a good point. I like that idea. Listen, man, we live in the NFL, and we know it's a rough business. The NFL is a rough business. Ty Montgomery made one mistake. He brought that ball out, and he did not give Aaron Rodgers a chance to, like you say, beat the Rams. At least give him a shot at doing it. And he was traded.
He was out of there.
He was out of there. He was traded to Baltimore. But a more significant trade for me was them trading Clinton Dix to the Redskins for a fourth rounder. Clinton Dix has been a really good safety for them. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that was another shocker coming out the NFC North, okay? You got the Redskins safety, DJ Swearinger, okay? This guy is leading the NFL in interceptions with 4. And Clinton Dix, according to Pro Football Focus, Clinton Dix is the 5th best safety in the NFL. That gives the Redskins arguably the best safety combination in the NFL, okay? Now, you look at the Green Bay Packers, Clinton Dix was going to be a free agent, but it's just not making sense to me. They have a second-round safety. They picked him, Josh Jones, in the 2017 draft in the second round. He's been a disappointment. He hasn't been starting. And they have 2 former undrafted free agents on the team. You have the guy Kentrell Bryce and Jermaine Whitehead. I don't know. I'm scratching my head. I don't know why they would get rid of it. They should have just tried to re-sign Clinton Dix. Maybe the big Aaron Rodgers contract is too big for them to sign somebody like Clinton Dix. We had to see, look at the salary cap, but they really, I don't agree with them letting him go.
Yeah, that was a tough one, but like you said, that contract, or maybe they just, they was going to have to play Clinton Dix eventually. He was going to want to get paid. So maybe they're taking that New England, the way they handle things when the players start getting really good. It's time to pay them, get them out of there. Get them out there quick, and get some picks for them.
Yeah,
at least get a pick, and that's exactly what they did. Demaryius Thomas, he really hasn't been good since Peyton Manning's left. Let's just call it what it is. I mean, he's not been that good. I didn't realize he was the leader in drops the last photo. I thought Amari Cooper held that title, but it was actually Demaryius Thomas. But he's been traded to Houston for 2019 third round, and they swapped 7th rounders. Houston, it fills a void for Houston because I know Will Fuller just tore his ACL and he's out for the season. So it fills that void. But what's your thoughts on this trade?
Yeah, Will Fuller out for the year. They just replacing him with this trade, and so eventually they pretty much give up a 4th round pick. Now the Denver Broncos 2nd round wide receiver rookie Courtland Sutton, he has a bump up into that number 2 wide receiver role because they already have Emmanuel Sanders. He produces, but Courtland Sutton coming into the draft, he was being compared to Brandon Marshall. He's a big receiver. He's 6'3", 215 pounds. He's going to get a lot more targets now. He has to prove himself to the Denver Broncos organization. And it's pretty funny that Demaryius Thomas traded to the Houston Texans, and now he's coming back to Denver to play the Broncos.
This could be ultimate revenge. Yeah, it could be. It can go both ways. I don't know. We can show you why we traded. We're gonna make you look stupid. We got your picks. Or Demaryius Thomas will say, "I still got it now that I have a quarterback to play with. I can show you what I can do." So that's very interesting. I mean, but that just shows you how they thought about Demaryius Thomas. They're like, dude, we'll trade you, and we don't care if we play you next week. Like, when a player's really good, you don't even trade in the same conference. For them to trade them to a team they about to play next week.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's crazy. That's the ultimate, no respect at all. Yeah. No respect at all.
Denver.
Yes. You watching Spectator Sport on SpectatorSport.com. When we come back, the rest of our NFL picks, we'll be back. Welcome back to Spectator Sport, sponsored by SpectatorSport.com. I'm Zach Roach.
I'm Adewale.
This is episode number 25. We call it the Barry Bonds edition. The greatest player in baseball history, just my opinion. But I think, if not the greatest, one of the best all-time home run baseball hitter of all time. Make sure you go to SpectatorSport.com and hit that video and subscribe to Spectator Sport on YouTube. Check it out. We got previous shows, previous clips. We got some dope interviews that you got to go back and check out. And this show will be up there very soon. So go ahead and check out Spectator Sport and go to SpectatorSport.com. A lot of good content. He's wrote some very, very dope articles on there. Go check it out, refute them, disagree with them, agree with them, whatever you do. We've been having a big show now. We talked a lot of basketball. We talked a lot of football, but more football. And now we got the rest of our picks. So explain the confidence points now.
Oh, yeah. In the NFL Week 8 confidence points pool, this guy beat me. Every week we pick in the confidence points pool. It was very close. He beat me by 3 points. I believe the score was, 93-9? No, it was
102 to 99.
102 to 99. He beat me because I picked the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday Night Football. I gave the Minnesota Vikings 3 confidence points. This guy, Zach Roach, gave the Saints 4 confidence points. Now, it was looking smooth for Minnesota. They was driving. It was the end of the first half. They was up 13-10. Looks like they're going to go ahead and go up 20-10 at halftime, but it was a little screen pass, a little short pass to Adam Thielen, and he fumbles the ball, recovered by Marshawn Lattimore. He runs all the way into the red zone. He gets tackled. That led to a Alvin Kamara touchdown. It's 17-13. Now later in the third quarter, the Vikings are losing 20-13, and Kirk Cousins drop backs to pass. He's throwing to Stephon Diggs, but there was a miscommunication. He thought Diggs was going to keep running on the drag route, but he stopped. And so P.J. Williams intercepts the ball. He races to the end zone. Pick 6. Game over. It's over. I lose. And so Zach wins again, and the Vikings lose. I lose, and it sucks. Overall, I think you beat me by 35 points this season, and you're going to say it's early, and my deficit keeps getting bigger. I'm looking forward to 2019.
It's still early. It's only we gave our mid-season awards. We only had mid-season. We got a whole half a season to go, so a lot of things can change. You just don't know. But yeah, I am up 6-49 to 6-14. By the way, that was on Stephon Diggs on that route.
Okay.
It was a shallow cross. He's supposed to keep running. It was man coverage. He's supposed to keep running, and he just stopped on the play. So that was definitely on Stephon Diggs. Yeah. As good as the Minnesota receivers have been, they've been phenomenal this year. That was the one game where they wasn't that good.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen had costly
mistakes in that game.
Yeah.
And that's but other than that, those 2 receivers, they've probably been the best duo in the NFL so far this year. So let's get into some games this week. We got a big one. I mean, a mighty one. This is for NFC supremacy. The Rams travel to New Orleans. They're going to the Dome to play New Orleans. Both teams on fire. The Rams, the last undefeated team. The Saints have, 5 games in a row, 6 games in a row?
About 6 games in a row.
6 games in a row. So they're flying high right now. They got, we talked earlier, they have some big-time victories. I mean, they went to Minnesota, got a victory in Minnesota. They got a victory at Baltimore. Now they coming home playing against the team with the best record, the only undefeated team left. What's your thoughts on this game?
Well, yeah, the Rams are hoping that Dante Fowler Jr. will have an immediate impact on the team and bring some heat on Drew Brees. Now, but there's a reason why Drew Brees is only sacked on average once per game, okay? He has perfected those short and intermediate passes, those throwing it into the flats, hitting guys on the little hitches and the slant routes. Then he hits you with that classic Drew Brees pump fake and go deep on you, okay?
Yep.
And so now the Saints defense, they came up big. We just talked about that. Had a couple of takeaways, but the Los Angeles Rams are number 2 in the NFL, the second best team in the NFL in least amount of giveaways this year. But I went ahead and picked the Saints, okay? I gave the Saints 3 confidence points. I got them winning this game 35-31. And the Saints are 1.5 favorites, right?
Yeah, they're favored by 1.5 points.
By 1.5 points. So I have them covering this game. I have them winning by 4 points. I have the Saints winning 35-31. I think they're gonna keep rolling, man. The Rams, they have barely been beating some good teams. I think it's time for them to get that L.
Yeah, one thing, but the Saints, another thing, your sack point about Drew Brees is spot on. But one thing the Saints are doing, that they're running the football. They are. Alvin Kamara is running the football, and now that with Ingram back, that dynamic duel is good. And Kamara is such a mismatch because they can throw him out a receiver and they put linebackers on him and he just absolutely destroys him. And that's what Sean Payton and Drew Brees do together. They find the weakness of your team. They find mismatches and just take advantage of it. And they defense, after the first couple games, they were like, oh, the Saints defense is back to being what this, but they have picked it up slowly but surely. And now every game after game, they have got better, and it looked like the Saints defense of last year. So the Saints right now are looking like the team to be reckoned with. Now, don't get me wrong, the Rams are undefeated, and they haven't tasted defeat yet. The Saints got their defeat out the way early. That's why I agree with you. I'm going with the Saints because I think it's time. The Rams, they've been on that borderline of losing some games,
right.
And I think finally that borderline breaks and they lose this game. I think it's going to be a close. Listen, I know the defenses are playing solid, but I think it's going to be a shootout. I got them winning by 3 points, 38-35, and I also gave them 3 confidence points as well.
Okay.
Arguably, you know, we might have a difference. Maybe Drew Brees needs to be in this conversation too. Maybe the 2 best quarterbacks playing against each other. We don't get to see this often. Unless, you know, we've been waiting. I know the masses would love to see the Super Bowl. But the Packers going to New England to pay the Patriots. You got Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady. We haven't seen this since 2014, the last time they played. And the Packers did win that game, by the way. But that's the same year that Seattle gave the Marshawn Lynch hold. You know, that's a different story. We ain't gonna get into all that. But they go to New England. They play New England. What's your thoughts on this game?
Well, this is a huge game for the Green Bay Packers because the Bears are huge favorites in Buffalo, and the Vikings are big favorites. They play in the Detroit Lions, so the Packers don't want to lose ground in that NFC North. And like this is the second time Brady versus Aaron Rodgers. Second time ever. Like you said, Aaron Rodgers, he won the first game, but that was in Lambeau Field.
Yep.
And you know that's very motivating for Tom Brady. He doesn't want to hear the report saying, you never lost to you never beat Aaron Rodgers. You never beat Aaron Rodgers. How do you feel about that? You know, he's not going to like that, okay?
No, he won't.
And the Packers, they just traded Clinton Dix. I think that was pretty bad. They got to go against Gronkowski, Edelman, Josh Gordon, all those people. I picked the Patriots to win the game. I gave them 10 confidence points. I get them winning 38-35. I know the Patriots are 5.5 point favorites. So I don't have them covering the spread, but I have them winning the game. I gave them 10 confidence points, 35-38 Patriots.
This is a nervous pick for me because on hindsight, because I look at the Packers is coming off very tough loss to the Rams. I mean, we all saw how that game ended against the Rams. I mean, they came back, they fought back, and it looked like that Aaron Rodgers was going to have a shot. And then they wasn't given that shot. And, you know, the rest of the story, Montgomery got traded. But that's a different story. So after going from that game, now you go play the Patriots. And this is a classic trap game for the Patriots right here because the Packers, like you say, this is the game that could turn their season around. This is the game that they can get their stride back because, like we spoke earlier, all the division games are about to start coming up now. Like the North is about to start playing each other. So all these games are vital, like to get as many victories as possible because they about to beat each other up and coming in November and December. So, but with that being said, I gotta go with the Patriots. I mean, it's at New England, and like you said, Tom Brady is one of the fiercest competitors. Not to say Aaron Rodgers ain't, because he is, but Tom Brady he's on the competitive level of Michael Jordan when it comes to just compete. And I'm pretty sure he didn't forget that the last time he played against the Packers, that they beat them. And I'm pretty sure that's in the back of his mind going through this week, and he wants to do everything possible to make sure the Patriots get this victory. I think it's going to be a close game. I think they actually cover the spread. I think they cover the spread. I gave New England 6 points, 30-24.
Okay.
Not a good games. You can look up here and go ahead and check it out. The rest of our picks, I'm gonna break down a couple more for you guys. Pittsburgh at Baltimore.
Right.
This is a big one.
Yeah, it's pretty huge. I mean, 2 costly turnovers in Carolina caused the Ravens to get blown out by Cam Newton and friends, okay? They're on a 2-game losing streak right now, okay? The Steelers, they didn't score a point in the second half. In the first meeting between the Ravens and the Steelers didn't score not 1 point in the second half. They lost that game. But they're on the 3-game winning streak right now. I don't think the Steelers get swept by the Ravens this year. I picked the Steelers to win this game. I gave the Steelers 7 confidence points. I get them winning this game 24-20.
Yeah, I picked the Steelers too. I think they were a 3-point favorite in this game.
Oh, the Steelers are 3-point underdog.
Oh, they're underdog, right? Because they're in Baltimore. Right, correct. Sorry. They're 3-point underdog, and but I picked Pittsburgh too, 21-18. But I gave them 10 points. I just feel like, look,
you disrespect the Ravens every week. You don't
I guess we both got a team. Look, you disrespect the Saints every week, okay?
Well, this week I picked them against the Rams.
Yeah, I picked the Ravens. When I picked the Ravens, they blew it. They lost.
Okay.
So
you haven't picked them in a while, though.
Yeah, I haven't picked them in a while. I don't believe in the offense. I think eventually when it comes down to it, I don't believe in Flacco in the offense.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just don't. And I just, Pittsburgh is on the 3-game win streak. They seem like they're finding their groove. But I could be wrong, but I'm definitely going with the Steelers in that one. A team under the radar, the Chargers.
Right.
5-2.
Right.
I mean, they played Kansas City very, very tough the first time they played as well too. But they're 5-2. I mean, they're right in the thick of the playoff things, kind of under the radar, but at the same time, not under the radar. But the Seahawks, since that Bears game, the Seahawks they playing some ball, and Russell Wilson has been balling. He has been balling out of control. What's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, the Chargers are on a 4-game winning streak right now, but during that streak, this year, in this whole season, the best team they beat this year is the Tennessee Titans, okay?
Yep.
And so the Seattle Seahawks, they won 4 out of their last 5 games. The only loss came to the Los Angeles Rams. They're at home. The 12th man is there. I'm going with the Seahawks. I gave them 5 confidence points. I got them win this game 37-33. And how many points are they favored by?
1.5 points.
1.5 points. So I got them covering the spread. I got the Seahawks win this game 37-33, and I gave the Seahawks 5 confidence points.
I picked the Seahawks too. I just love what I'm seeing from Russell Wilson. Right? He's leading this team. He's showing everybody why he got that contract. And despite what everybody said about him on his team, he's showing why he is the man of that team. And there's a reason why, he gets whatever he gets. Absolutely. But I'm picking the Seahawks 28-24. I gave him 2 total confidence points. So I got him covering the spread as well too. Detroit at the Vikings, and this is a big one. NFC North clash. This is a big one.
Yes.
I mean, both teams coming off a loss. I think the Lions are 3-4, correct?
They're
3-4, and the Vikings are 4-3-1. So this is where it begins. This is the division game. This is where it starts. Now Detroit made a big trade. They got rid of Golden Tate. So this is going to be their first time this year without Golden Tate. The Vikings, I know they was not satisfied. They were not happy about the way they performed against the Saints.
Right.
What's your thoughts on this game?
Well, the Vikings are 5.5 point favorites in this game.
Yes.
So you know what? I'm going with the Vikings. I gave them a lot of confidence points. I got the Vikings. I gave them 12 confidence points. I got them win this game 34-28. I say they bounce back from the loss. I say the Lions turn into the Lions. They go into mediocrity. They're going to be mediocre for the rest of the year. And I got the Vikings covering the spread. I got them winning by 6. They 5.5 point favorites. Vikings win.
I got the Vikings too, 28-17. I said they covered the spread, and I gave them 11 points. So I think the Vikings, they're gonna come back at home. I think they're gonna come back.
No back-to-back losses at home, right?
Yeah, you would think. You never know though. You never know. But I picked the Vikings in this one. One more game before we get out of here. I just got it. We didn't talk about it, but let's talk about it. Hugh Jackson got fired by the Browns. He got fired by the Browns, and now they, unfortunately, the first game that Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator who is not interim head coach, they play against the Kansas City Chiefs. Any chance for upset here?
No. Well, I gave Kansas City Chiefs the most confidence points you can give a team, 13. I got them covering the spread. They're 8.5 point favorites. And I got them win the game 37-21. It's going to be a blowout.
Yeah. Look, the Chiefs, this is the wrong time to change a coach. I mean, whatever happened, I don't know. I mean, whatever going on in the Cleveland Browns organization, they just don't like coaches. They fire.
What's up with this Cleveland thing? Tyronn Lue fired in Cleveland, and
well, I heard all the owners had a meeting. They said we're going to fire all the coaches, and we're going to go. No, I'm just kidding. Now I don't know what's going on. I guess they just Hugh Jackson wasn't the guy. Then they also fired the offensive coordinator Todd Haley.
Yeah, they was doing that. They was arguing with each other. They was upset. They didn't agree on anything.
Todd Haley's had a few problems everywhere he goes. He's like a hothead or something. He knows football and everything, but it's just something he always gets into. So I don't know the story behind it, so I'm not gonna speculate. There's always 2 sides to a story.
Right,
but no, absolutely not. 30-16. Kansas City 13. I gave him 13 points as well too.
Yeah,
absolutely. You've been watching Spectator Sporting on SpectatorSporting.com. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you go to SpectatorSporting.com. Click on the video. Subscribe to that YouTube page. Make sure you check it out. Until then, in the meantime, in between time, we will see you next show. We out.